CronoKirby here with Geeky Nerdy Coalition for a review of Fantastic Four First Steps. Was Fantastic Four first steps in the right direction, or did it completely collapse? Well, safe to say it was a solid, decent movie. I'm not going to tell you it's the best thing in the MCU is back. It is a good step in the right direction.
Put one foot in front of the other, and soon you are walking across the floor.
There were some things that could have been done a little bit better. I felt like the story was probably a little too simplified. Some parts work really well, but I think the whole Galactus being old and wanting to retire didn't exactly work the best.
Did you hear me? I said get off my lawn now.
It was kind of a weird thing to bring in. Bringing in baby Franklin with full power is a dangerous thing to do, because then there are no rules that can't be broken if you have like a god level being on Earth. So that kind of makes a lot of things be temporary, and so they can use Franklin to do whatever they want. The cast was solid. I still feel like they are too old to be the Fantastic Four, but that's just what Marvel went for, and all of them did a great job. Ben Grimm was probably the best one. I really liked how the Thing looked and the way his behavior was. The accent wasn't there, which was a little disappointing, but overall, the Thing was one of the better characters. I wish there was more for him to do. I wish they would have actually explored the love interest they hinted at in there. That would have made the movie a little bit more exciting. Johnny Storm has a lot of potential there, and Joseph Quinn does a great job as Johnny Storm. I just wish there was a little bit more of him in the movie as well, because if there was more of him, the movie would have been more entertaining. And the female Silver Surfer was a weird choice. The effects are better than they were in the trailer, but I'm still not completely a fan of the effects for it, but it works. Sometimes you gotta go with what works, and Galactus looked really good. I wish they did him more as a force of nature instead of just someone who's hungry. It just doesn't work as well. I like the idea of him just being a necessary force of nature to keep the universe in balance like he is in the comics. So really good idea. Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards, he did a solid job. I still think he was miscast and wasn't the right guy for the job, but he did do well. I just think there were a lot better people, but from what I hear, a lot of people turned down the role of Reed Richards, and they managed to get him to do it, and he is a good actor, and he does put in a good performance. I like the whole 60s futuristic look. It's really cool. Kind of gives you a little bit of a reminder of what Fallout looks like, but that's because Fallout and Fantastic Four have a similar futuristic look and aesthetic. The aesthetic works really well for this movie. The other really nice thing about this movie is you don't have to rely on watching other movies to be able to get this. It's a completely standalone story. The multiverse is actually completely left out of it, except for the little Easter egg on what they call this Earth, Earth 828. If you stay till the end, you'll see why it's 828, and that was a pretty cool homage there. I didn't really like the original plan on how they were going to save the Earth from Galactus. It just didn't seem to make much sense. Instead of just trying to teleport Galactus like they ended up doing in the movie, they decide they're going to teleport the Earth to another galaxy, which sounds like a great idea, but there's a lot of complications. So if you don't bring the moon with you, which they weren't doing, you just screwed up the ocean. If you're not in a solar system that has a giant planet like Jupiter that kind of takes away the asteroids, that's not very good either, because then the Earth will just get bombarded with asteroids. It just didn't seem like a good idea there. I did like some of the effects they did when they were trying to attack the Silver Surfer and they're in a black hole. The lasers they were shooting kept bending because they were in a black hole and gravity is bending the laser. That's a pretty cool detail. Overall, I think this movie is worth watching when it comes to streaming. If you do have some free time and you're itching to see a movie, I think it is worth watching in theaters, but I wouldn't put it on as a high priority. And the movie does look like it would have been really good in IMAX, and the visuals would have been even cooler in IMAX, especially Galactus. Galactus was the coolest looking part of the movie. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss any of our episodes. Tell them what you thought of it. Are you excited to go see this movie? Did you already see it? What'd you think of the movie? Or do you hate the movie? What do you like and what do you hate about it? Let me know. Keep it real, keep it geeky.